Right now, I'm reading the book Jesus and John Wayne, which is about the rise of American evangelicalism and how that transformed the Republican Party in the 20th century. And one of the ideas that the author has brought forward that I find the most intriguing is this idea that a lot of the movements of the late 20th century, like the civil rights movement, the women's liberation movement, the anti war movement, the Cold War, like fighting communism at large, was all about threats to masculinity, specifically Christian masculinity. So, starting with the civil rights movement, one of the concerns was the idea of forced integration. So, the government started withholding tax exempt status from schools and churches that didn't integrate, and how this was viewed as a threat to the father figure, the patriarch, having the authority in the household. It's like if the father loses the authority to choose what school his kids go to choose if his children get to go to a segregated school or not, to choose what kind of education their child has. If the father can't make that and the government is making that decision for him, he is being emasculated. Also, racial resentment really taps into fears around protecting white female fragility, specifically from a black man, like long history of racial stereotypes of black men raping white women, which it's more often that white men rape black women, but the point is like this perceived threat of the person of color attacking white female fragility, like white women have to be protected and the races need to be segregated, and the man needs to protect the woman. The women's liberation movement obviously posed a huge threat to perceived masculinity. Like, if women were working, if women were having wages, they didn't need to rely on their husband. That also threatened the patriarch's dominant position in the house. Women having sexual liberation and being able to explore multiple sexual partners, being able to have birth control and abortion, again, all threatened like a man's role at the peak of the hierarchy. God forbid a woman could make decisions about her body without consulting her husband. Christian masculinity was also explicitly performed in the act of battle and military in American imperialism, and so the anti-war movement was a direct threat to men exercising like their masculine right as portrayed in famous film figures and icons like John Wayne. Also, the fight against communism was explicitly the fight against atheism because communists were presented as atheists, and that was really scary to Christians. And so the through line of all these things, of the fear of the civil rights movements, the fear of gender equality, the fear of anti-war and pacifism, the fear of communism, was all about the fear of losing their perceived masculinity.